Welcome to the Live Your Dreams podcast, where success leaves clues and someone had your answer. Joined as always with my lovely co-host, Miss Tia Mckisset.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Just first and foremost, Tia, how was your week?
Great.
All right, good. So today we're going to be talking about family and the importance of family. And one thing when you think about that, first and foremost, I'm so fortunate that not only do I have a wonderful wife, but have 4 wonderful children and a nice supportive family around that also. So when you think about family, Tia, what does family mean to you?
I love family because we're very close-knit, spending time, forming memories, doing stuff together.
Yeah, and one thing is that I think with the tradition of always going on, the yearly vacations with our family, with the extended family, I think that definitely it builds the bond because it's memories you create.
But you get to reconnect.
Yeah, you get to
after working. Every day.
You get to reconnect. You get to bond. You get to see, especially when you do it with the extended family. Yeah. You get to see individuals you really don't get to see on a daily basis.
Right.
To definitely kind of make that bond go a little stronger,
Right, that's true.
And it was so funny, when you talk about family, I guess, before my mom passed, we used to do like little small trips. We would go to Atlantic City or take day trips to Hangs Point or Bay Bridge Beach. I don't even know if Bay Bridge Beach is still there, but we used to go things like that. But, when with your family, we started doing, some substantial trips,
right?
And making things, just so many memories we have. We could go back, and with your father was just amazing. Just being with him for a whole week, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, the laughter we would have after vacation is just one thing. I would. This is how I feel. That's what I would be thinking of when I think of some of the vacations. I'd be like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Some of the unbelievable memories that we have. What's some of the things when you think about family? What's the best part of family you think it is?
Well, spending time, being together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing, let's look at something. When you look at family and you look at some of the things on a day-to-day basis, what's some of the things you think you could do as a family to kind of bring that bond together to make sure you're a tight-knit family?
Well, you can have game night. You can have weekly meetings. Go out to eat.
Yeah.
Cook dinner together.
That's what I was going to say, cook dinner together, because some of the memories that I have, I remember when your mom was still here, we would go over her house and cook dinners, and making those dinners used to take all day. I mean, I'd be like, are we ever going to eat? We would start at maybe like 2, and I'm not exaggerating, like 2 p.m., and dinner be ready about 7.
Right.
I don't know, why did it take so long to cook? Because it don't seem like this.
She was the type to cook the long way. She did everything, cut everything up, did everything.
Yeah, because now meals get cooked in 15 minutes with an air fryer. But it seemed like then it was like 4-hour meals, 5-hour meals.
Because it would take cabbage about 3 hours.
Yeah, I can't even imagine waiting that long for a meal now. I think everybody's got used to getting things so instant.
Right.
I don't even know if anybody's cooking a 4 or 5-hour meal anymore. What do you think?
No, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I think that's a good point. Cooking together. Kind of.
I like exercising together.
Yeah, we've started that now that we're on this fitness tip. I think exercising together is the best because it kind of frees your mind.
Right.
Not only are you getting physically fit, but it frees your mind also.
That's true. You
know what I mean? When you talk about the exercise piece. What else do you think you could do to have a tight-knit family?
Just, have meetings together. Meet with them. To see if everybody's okay, their mental status is okay.
Yeah, just to talk to people. Because sometimes just talking, because again, I wasn't a big talker coming up, right? Not only did I probably didn't have the vocabulary to communicate or express myself, but it seemed like now I'm more of a talker.
And you listening more.
Yeah, because now I think our relationship has gotten there where we communicate all the time. I mean, we really do talk a lot. And I think that's made the major difference in making the family even stronger because now we talk, And even if sometimes, for instance, I may say something that's took a little too far or something.
Right.
You always say, hey, man, you might want to go back and say sorry.
Right.
Or you might want to go back and listen, or you might want to go back and ask a different question to ensure that you're maintaining self-esteem while you're talking to.
Right.
So you do a really good job with that on that part.
What do you like about family? What is important to you?
I think one of the things with me, and again, I had my grandfather, my mother's father, who set such a good example. He had 8 children, 8 girls. Mm-hmm. And I think he had such a good example of what I don't know if it's provider or what someone in the home strength set such a good role model for me where I wanted that. I wanted to be a provider. I wanted to be someone who could come home to a nice home, come home and got support from the family.
Right.
Come home and be that individual that when you come home, people want to see you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True.
Where it's not like when you come home, they're like, damn. Or go back to this. Right?
Right.
Come back and be like, why, please. But I wanted that. I wanted to be able to come home and it be a nice, nurturing home. I wanted that so bad. So that's what made it for me where I had a good example.
Okay.
And that's why I try to set a good example because you never know who's watching you.
That's true.
Right? You never know who's watching you.
Just like you said you were watching your grandpa.
Right. And I don't know if he thought, hey,
he
he's
probably
watching
didn't
me.
even know.
Right. He's watching me and, he's looking up to me.
Right.
And one day he's going to be in that position. He may have, but I don't know. But you never know who's watching because I was watching him. Yeah, I really was. So I think that's one of the things where that kind of helped me out. That definitely helped me out. So one of the things with, I guess, family, and it seemed like when you and I got married, we just clicked on the family piece.
Right.
Well, I think both of us wanted a family. I don't think neither one of us was against it.
Right.
And I think both of us wanted a family. Both of us wanted to have a nice home where when we came home, it was our place where we get the peace from, right? No matter how crazy the world could be, you knew when you walked through the door, it was peaceful there.
That's true.
And I think that's one of the things where it kind of helped us, where that's what we both wanted that, And let's take a quick break for the sponsor. Then when we come back, we could keep talking on that, okay?
Okay.
All right, so get it to our sponsor, Short Child Care, short name, long in service. That was Tom's quote. And again, there is a waiting list for short child care. The number is on the screen. But you want to put your child's name on that list because spots are opening. And again, Short Child Care is working on expanding, but more to come on that. So again, Short Child Care, short in name and long in service. So one of the things, Tia, back to what we were talking about, we both wanted that.
Right.
And I think to have a family, and again, this is just our opinion. We're not therapists or anything like that, but this is just our opinion, 2 people just talking. One of the things is that I think for a family to work, you do need 2 people as the head that want to be together.
Right.
You know what I mean? You need 2 people that want to be together, that want to make it work. Because problems are going to happen. It's not if problems are going to happen. They are going to happen.
That's true.
It's just a part of life.
But you got to be willing to stick in there.
Yeah, but I think the key is that you got to have that stickability, and you got to have that get to it ability, right? You got to you can't sit around and think about it. You just got to stick it out, right. And you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to know that, hey, this is what we want, right? Through the hard times, through the difficult times, and they are going to come.
Right.
It's not if, they are going to come. And I think anybody out there who's starting a family, we just want to tell you that the difficult times are going to happen. The hard times are going to happen. Mm-hmm. But it's not always hard times. It's not always difficult times. There is good times.
Right.
But you have to know that once ease come, then comes difficulty, right? Then after difficulty, then comes ease, then difficulty, then come ease. But you have to realize that through that, you have to stick it out, right?
Right.
And one of the things, unfortunately, if if something does happen that's just real difficult, you have to have that communication skill, that emotional intelligence.
That's true.
To be able to overcome the emotions, because emotions can, really get the best of you if you can't have that emotional intelligence, or you don't have the communication skills to be able to communicate through some of the difficulties, right?
Right. Because
I think when you want to have a family, the number one thing you really want to, if you, I guess the advice I would give, you have to have somebody in it with you who wants to be in it with you.
That's
right?
true.
I think that's the number one thing, because if you don't have somebody in it with you who want to be in it with you, when the first difficulty happens, you out of there.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna hit our song. That's the first thing you're gonna say. But when you have somebody there with you who want to get into it or stick it out with you,
right,
those difficulties aren't as difficult, because there was some times, I guess we've been married now going on 28 years, when it's been very difficult.
That's true.
And you thought
because you got to think about even raising children. You got to sit and deal with different problems as they get older, and be able to communicate with each other.
Yeah,
to solve those problems.
Yeah, and one of the things about, especially with children, that's more of the part where you need to communicate. And that's more of the part where you need to have the emotional intelligence, because when children come, it gets
juggling so many roles.
Yeah, it gets more complex. If it's just two people, that's hard. Just two people is hard.
Right.
But when you get children involved, it becomes more difficult. Right. Where you have to have the emotional intelligence and the communication to be able to work through some of the difficulties that happen. And again, it's not all difficult. I think the key is we always had structured things planned. We always had something to look forward to.
Right.
Whether it was the extended vacation with the entire family, when it'd be like 20 of us, right?
Right.
Or if it's just a vacation with just you and I, now that you and I just take vacations.
Right.
And remember, we didn't take our first vacation together till 2015, I think.
Right.
Right? Before that, we never had
to do family vacations.
We had to do, because our children were young. But 2015, you and I started to be able to go on vacation together. But before that, we didn't have that. But I think we've always had something to look forward to. Yes. Because you and I never mind enjoying the vacations with the kids.
Right.
Because we had fun. We had more fun with them.
Too.
Because, again, it just kept us, I guess, mobile. It kept us young. It kept us energetic.
Right.
Right? And it's just like we just went to King's Dominion, and we get on rides just like everybody else, right? It's just like we're just as young as we were when we got married.
Right, that's true.
Especially now that we're exercising and getting in shape.
And have the energy.
Yeah, and have the energy. I mean, it's like I didn't know that as you mature, life actually gets better.
Right.
Because, again, I think it goes back, the emotional intelligence is there. The communication is there.
Right.
And, the resources are there also. But I think the communication and the emotional intelligence is more developed.
Right.
So you understand that difficulty is a part of life. So when something difficult happens, you don't lose it. Yeah, you don't freak out, because this is just a part of life. And this too shall pass.
That's true.
So, that's one of the things. And again, I think the takeaway here, and you add something if you think, but the takeaway is to have a family. First and foremost, you need two people committed to each other.
Right.
To ensure that they're going to be together, right?
Right.
Because, again, that's not even talking about the children or anything like that, because once the children come, you really got to be like this.
Right.
Because, again, it gets more difficult. And I think the second takeaway is you always have to have something to look forward to.
Right.
Because life is so unpredictable. And life, things could come out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. But when you have something to look forward to, it kind of makes life a little bit better.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Well, you work hard, so
yeah.
Why not?
So I think that's one of the things where I would think that's the key to a family. So what do you think is the key to a healthy family?
Well, like we said, communication, spending time, planning vacations, planning different things with each other. And most of all, when you married, make sure you spend time with your spouse.
Yeah, I think that's the number one thing. I mean, because I think spending time is definitely the key.
Alone time.
Yeah, alone time, absolutely. Because again, so much goes on. I think that's definitely the key to it. You definitely want to have that alone time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All right. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the key to it is you have to have someone you're in it with, right? That want to be in it with you.
Right.
I think that's the key. That's the takeaway. Because I think if you wasn't 100% into it, or I wasn't 100% into it, I don't think it would work.
Right.
Because when the difficult times happen, you would have been out, or I would have been out, right? We just said, we're out. But I think when the difficult times did come, and again, more difficulty is coming too, it makes it, I guess, bearable to know that when you look to the left or right, that person is in it with you.
Right.
Right? It makes it so much better. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, success leaves clues. Someone has your answer. But the key is, hopefully this has helped someone, because, again, I think family is the backbone. Right? Family is the backbone. And we want to make sure, again, I believe that, there's a future with families, because a lot of people say we're the last of the traditionalists. I think that's what they said. But I don't believe that. I think there are strong families still out there to be developed.
Yeah, that's
right.
True.
And hopefully someone's watching us and saying, "Hey, I want to go ahead and be in a."
I want to go to a wedding.
Yeah, me too. I want to go to a wedding too. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, and again, I'll see you, and yes, I do mean you, living your dreams. Peace.